Good day, everyone. This is Greg Ryan from Greg Ryan Fitness Coaching. Today, I would like to go over with you briefly an overview of what I have learned in the last 32 years of being a fitness trainer. I wrote a book a few years ago called Rich Trainer, Poor Trainer: How I Made $1 Million as a Fitness Trainer Before I Was 30 Years Old. I decided to write this book kind of in conjunction with the mindset of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I am very excited about talking to you today about 3 steps that it takes to become a very successful fitness trainer and to make the money that you would like to make. I will briefly read some stuff in the book. I would encourage you to go buy the book on Amazon.com by Greg Patrick Ryan, called Rich Trainer, Poor Trainer: How I Made $1 Million as a Fitness Trainer. I believe that being successful comes down to 3 simple steps. And I will go over those with you in a moment. It has to do with 3 simple parts to the mindset with it. But first, I'd like to briefly read some things to you out of this book that maybe will spark some creativity in your own personal training business. A little bit about this book. Not all of you are ready for it. Let me just be honest with you. Some will disregard a lot of this book, and only a handful of you will probably even finish this book. And those of you who finish it are the people who will become wealthy, not because I have all the answers, but because of the mindset that you will have after you read this book. The rest will wish they were and resent the ones who are wealthy. There's only a few that will become wealthy in this profession. You guys think it's glamorous, and it is not. You think that it's easy money, and it is not. Now, why should you read Rich Trainer, Poor Trainer? You should read this book. For every personal trainer who has not made $1 million needs to read it. If you are listening and you have not made $1 million, then you need to hear some of this stuff. This series will give you real life, proven formulas for success and building wealth as a fitness trainer. But be careful though, it may be too simple to comprehend. A lot of times in life is very simple for us to hear. So, whether you think you can or you cannot, the outcome will probably be just that. You get what you believe, whether it's your self-worth and financial worth. I was just naive enough to think I was worth both. With that mindset, 4 lines on a piece of paper I wrote 30-something years ago that I want to share with you what made me probably to be priceless. Making $1 million as a fitness trainer is not all about numbers on a chart or molecular structures you learn in a classroom. Wealth as a fitness trainer is found not in competing with other trainers, but creating. Not from complaining, but gratifying. And not from complacency, but consistency. Now, by all means, get your education. It's all part of a good foundation. I get that. But in the end, however, it comes down to leadership, common sense, the psychology of people, and you. How you relate, how you motivate, how you educate and encourage will make a huge difference. However, by themselves, you will not find prosperity or peace within yourself, or the fitness training profession as a whole, for that matter. I have made millions, not from my brains, but from my smarts. Not from my ability to design this secret exercise program, but from my keen awareness of how one should think. Not with the sharpness of minds in the classroom, I will admit, but creativity, intuition, and the ability to feel things into existence through faith, common sense, and will, I'll say there may not be any better than myself. But really, I'm just a common person who had a dream that never died. humble enough to admit imperfections, and the willingness to work smart through thought and the wisdom of others rather than ego. Just being open-minded will separate you from most. But I have to give you a word of caution. Be extremely careful not to make the mistake most trainers make. Making money is not complicated. However, hardly any do, and why is that? Heck, most of you won't even read this entire intro or listen to this entire video, let alone the whole book or the entire videotape. If you fail to do even that, how in the world do you expect to be successful? Forget being financially wealthy. If you get into personal training for the glamour of it, I suggest you get out now. Glamour meaning for the fun of it. You won't last anyway. The business will spit you out like a scalding sip of coffee. And yes, this is a business. In the end, all you will do is cast a bad, unprofessional light on the industry. The fitness training industry is a desperate need of business-minded people, career-oriented individuals who I call lifers, if you will. This book, Rich Trainer, Poor Trainer, is 280 pages worth of a book that outlines key areas of thinking of what it takes to be a successful fitness trainer. It gives you hundreds of ideas and experiences learned on the job, not in a classroom. Just one piece of advice could double or triple your income. If only you were willing to follow through on your dreams. The sad thing is that 90% of you listening to this will give up on your dreams because you are either too egotistical to learn or fail to think beyond your imagination. I will be the first to tell you, I don't claim to have all the answers, but I have learned a whole heck of a lot in 30-something years, and I have sustained a great cash flow in good and bad economic times. My father taught me that if you want to have what others have, then learn and listen to them first, and ask questions second. I want to challenge you right now to get serious about your future, but I will ask of you only one thing. Swallow your pride. There's no other single thing that costs trainers more money than this. But who am I to say such a thing? What I'd like to do now is I'd like to give you a brief summary of what I think it takes to be a professional fitness trainer and to make $1 million or more in this profession. In the book, there are roughly 10 different areas that outline what I think it takes, but I'm going to go through 3 of them with you today that will give you an idea of what I mean. I will go over with you the attitude. I will go over with you the proper business principle, and I will go over with you one marketing technique that has made me more money than any marketing technique ever could make. So let's go over the first one real quick, and that is Business 101, the foundation of wealth. And when it comes to business, it comes to one simple attitude. And that attitude is sold out. Sold out. Decisions don't change, but goals do. Remember that. When I first started the fitness training business at 17 years old, I made a decision. And that decision was, come hell or high water, I was going to persevere. I was going to make this happen. I was all in, as the Aztecs would call it, O-L-L-I-N. They were all into their profession. In the military, they call them lifers. Lifers will do things for the rest of their life, even when the hard times come. This probably is the first thing in becoming a millionaire trainer, is to become sold out to your profession. It's not glamorous like you think it is. It takes hard work. It is the willingness to do things when other people are not willing to do. So, yes, it's personal, being sold out. Your career starts with an attitude, not of arrogance, but of a mindset. The foundation to wealth as a fitness trainer lies in this philosophy that most will forget. You can have the best business principles, practices, and goals and aspirations, but at the core of it all, you got to be sold out. The only way to become successful is to possess that all-in type of attitude. There is a huge difference between a job and a career when it comes to a trainer. All in. Frankly, 90% of you aren't. You think you are. And some of you don't even have a clue of what I'm talking about. Most will bail on dreams when the going gets tough, and you can count on it being challenging at times. The heartfelt decision must be made before you even begin. So my question to you is, are you in for life or not? But before I started my career, I made a quality decision. And that day, that light came on, and I never turned it off. You got to flip the switch. You got to be a lifer, not a part-timer. It's got to be a career, not a job. Now, with this attitude, I want you to keep this in mind. It's a challenge. And over a long period of time, it'll become tough. Years ago, I had to come up with something to get me through the tough times. I had to shorten my goals down to one single day. Each morning, I got up and I said to myself, just allow me to get through this one day. All I wanted was a one day at a time attitude. The thriving the business and reaching out to someone to drive is more important than business. There are many times when I just couldn't think more than one day. So the money tip here, you are an extension of your business. The world can tell if you are serious or not. If you are convinced to be a lifer, then the world will bring people into your life. Sounds crazy, but it's true. The money-making tip, flip the switch and never look back. Okay, number 1, sold out. Have the sold out attitude. Now, number 2, let's talk about a business principle that I really believe that has made me more money than I could ever imagine. My father has a 7th grade education. We were raised on a farm. We never owed a penny to a soul, and we never allowed people to control our destiny. So, business principle 101, have the Oprah Winfrey style and attitude when it comes to business. This business, yes, is about control. We live in the best country in the world, and if you can dream it, you surely can have it. If you can imagine it, you can make it. I tell people all the time, only in America can a person get paid for working out with people, and in my case, paid very well. Sooner or later, you must make a decision that can make the entire difference in your career and, more importantly, your life. Oprah Winfrey knows best, I say. Take control of your life. Early on, Oprah decided to take control of her career. She wanted full control of it. And frankly, at that time, being a female and African American also didn't make it much easier. Oprah herself, more than anyone, understood that the decision to go at it alone would bring added stress, scrutiny, and self-evaluation. But she also believed that would bring freedom. And that's what America is all about. I'm sure she questioned all of her decisions over time. My dad has, and so have I. But what I have learned, and I am sure that they have also, was that the benefits of freedom are worth every single stress, uncertainty, and unpredictable moment. Having total control over my career and your career is one of the greatest gifts you could ever allow to experience. And we all have that opportunity. My father, Oprah, knew what was best for them. I learned that too. And now I encourage you to think about it. Sooner rather than later, you need to make a decision. Work for yourself or continue to give your own life to another. So in the end, it's better to take the Oprah approach. Have the ability to be flexible and to explore all options all the time. So your choice is to be self-employed or a gym rat. If you have not made that decision, one day you will, on your own or for somebody else. But here's the facts. You will never be rich working for another. However, you must crawl before you walk. And sometimes you have to learn to work in a gym. But in the end of the day, you need to be self-employed, the Oprah Winfrey style. A few years back, I sat across from the cutest couple in a restaurant. Not a care in the world, smiles on their faces, living life like tomorrow would ever come. I admired them so very much. My parents had worked hard all their lives, and it was there they turned to enjoy it. What I admired most was the freedom that they have enjoyed. So my challenge to you as you continue in this fitness profession is to have a sold out attitude, number one, and number two, be in business for yourself. Now, number three, I want to talk about something from a marketing standpoint that probably has made me more business all the time than any other thing when it comes. And it comes to what I call the gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers are the people that will send you their clients themselves. Now, if I can find it in my book here, I would like to read from you a little bit of what I considered probably the most important decision that I have ever made in the fitness business. If I can find it in my own book here. But maybe we'll just go off the cuff. Gatekeepers. What are gatekeepers? Gatekeepers are people that send you business. I believe that trainers spend most of their money on outside advertisements frivolously. I believe that word of mouth is the most important thing that you could ever have when it comes to fitness training. Now, gatekeepers. Now, my father would say, you're only as good as those around you. He always seemed to have good quality friends and business associates around them when needed them. Remember the movie Meet the Fockers? That was great. It was It was Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, and they had this thing called Circle of Trust. Or in other words, a small family-like society of people who had your back no matter what. Well, I learned, once in, you'll never have to leave unless you screw up on your loyalty. So what I developed when it came to gatekeepers in marketing was a circle of trust. I always seemed to like team sports. Just watching a group of people come together for a common goal, fighting off adversity, or just playing for the love of the game was inspiring to me. It didn't matter as much of the outcome as it did what I learned about myself and my teammates. Now, if you're going to run a profitable fitness business, you got to surround yourself with good people, good quality people, and I call them gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are those individuals who possess better than average business knowledge and impeccable character. Gender, background, or race matters not. It's about what's inside and upstairs. The mission, the goal of the so-called gatekeepers for me, was to help stay in line with the mission statement of my business. And by the way, if you are serious about being a rich trainer, the first thing you should do is create a mission statement. The second thing is to give you good, sound business advice, then allow you to make a decision. The number of gatekeepers is irrelevant. The type of people is more important. I have a diverse group that fits all my business needs. You could have a few or many or only one. Gatekeepers have to be trustworthy. You need to count on them and not worry about other things behind your back. Gatekeepers are loyal. You do not want someone on your side one day and then flipping a switch to someone else's on the other. Loyalty also means not flip-flopping on principles. Everyone should believe in something, even if you don't agree on it. Gatekeepers need to have a spine. They need to be bold and they need to be straight shooters. The key, I had a game plan, and I wanted people to guard my business and the gates that people came into. I only wanted a select few and consistent. I wanted a mentor. I needed a coach, a counselor, a teacher whom I respected and looked up to for advice. In a perfect world, they should be one in your profession. If you can meet on a consistent basis with a person you considered a mentor, then that would be priceless. At the beginning of my career, my mentor was Kathy Smith, the fitness guru. I did not know everything, so I asked questions. You need accountability partners. You need CPAs. You need financial planners. So here's the money tip. You're only as good as those around you. Protect your interests with wise counsel. Money not spent is money earned. Realize that you cannot do this all on your own and learn from those before you. and always cover your butt. There you go. There's the $1 Million Trainer. 3 things that allowed me to generate an income of over $1 million by the time I was 30 years old. We will talk about this a little bit further in some of the other broadcasts that I will be broadcasting to you. But in recap, it is having a sold-out attitude. Be a lifer. Have the Oprah Winfrey approach. Work for yourself. Control your own destiny. And at the end of the day, surround yourself with great people. If you would like for me to come talk to you in your facility, you can email me at gregryanfitness@yahoo.com. This is Greg Ryan saying have a wonderful and productive day.